Can't can't talk. Technical difficulties. Be on soon.
Do you see us now?
Hey, there we are. I see us. All right, there we are.
All right. Let's try this for
We are
the third
finally
time.
back.
For the
We're here.
third time.
We're here.
Hello. This alone will
We
make
made
me
it.
not want to use Meld, boy, because when I'm doing it via YouTube or if I do it via OBS, I literally when I go live, if it's scheduled, I can go in there and just click it and it does it automatically. Meld requires I literally so what's the point? I don't understand. I'm not going to get into this right now, but this I think the Meld roller coaster of opportunity just halted tremendously in the middle of the ride, and I'm over it that fast. Because does it have
Yeah.
some cool stuff? Yes. However, the headache that it just provided me as the person that runs the back end, yeah, I'm out. And the lie detector test determined that that was a lie. Meld is
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
easier, even though they claim to say that it is easier. Maybe it is, but based on just what I had to go
Didn't
through
work
to
for
get,
us today.
you know what I'm saying? All right, I'm getting off topic. I'm about to go down a rabbit hole of
Yeah.
nonsense. Anyways, let's try this again.
Yeah.
Ladies
We
and
can make that a
gentlemen,
whole new episode.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 2, baby. Episode 2, but technically it's actually episode 1 because episode 1 was really just you guys getting to know us. So 1.5, we'll call it that. I am that that man Dev, and to my
I don't know
right,
which side I'm on yours.
technically
Yeah.
you're to my right, I believe, or left. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. My beautiful, handsome co-host Adam. Everybody make some noise for Adam. How you doing, sir?
Yeah. Ooh.
Look, I
It's
dropped.
just
That
me
was your
making noise.
chance. That was your
That's
chance
it.
to drop your
To
little
hit the
air
applaud.
horn. Yeah,
Okay,
or
here,
the
do it
air
again.
horn.
Let's do it again. Do it again. Hold on. Let's do it again. Yeah.
There we go. The golf
Hey,
claps.
it's
Yes.
me.
All right. So what you missed is that I have a potential sick one. She left camp early. Already mentioned that she didn't want to potentially go to camp tomorrow and stay home with mom, which if you know her, she never wants to miss camp. So that means she clearly actually honestly isn't feeling well. And if you caught any of Adam dropping the nuggets before we went live and his kids were in the pool not having fun earlier. So like the dad
Yeah.
life is
Yeah.
dad in today.
Yeah, they were, they always have the tendency to fight in the pool because some reason you're in a pool and they don't want to get splashed with water. Well, let me tell you something. You're in a pool for a reason. You're
Yeah.
gonna get splashed.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just how that works, you know?
Yeah.
So a couple of quick housekeeping things because we wanted to make sure that you all that come to the live audience still feel engaged, heard, and noticed. Please understand that we will scroll back. All right. I have a fantastic, amazing chat here that allows me to see every single message from the beginning of the show. So this is how this is going to work moving forward. We're going to take a couple minutes at the beginning of the show, say thank you to our live audience. We appreciate you. And yeah,
Oh, that's
got
when
to
you hit the
treat
air
it
horn.
like a TV show. All right. So we're going to treat this like a TV show moving forward where me and Adam will go ahead and have our show. You guys write those things down that maybe come to you in the minute. Please let us know. I'll see it. We will come back at the end of the show and scroll all the way back through the chat and make sure that we acknowledge any questions that may have come up or any comments, any feedback, and anything like that, because it's huge. All right. So this is all being said prior to us recording. Also want to give you guys the heads up that not this Sunday, because this is only technically episode 2, but we will record again on Sunday the 22nd. So our next live will be Sunday the 22nd. I think that's Sunday, right? Didn't that what we said when we talked about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
22nd, I don't know. I don't know what day. I just know the day it is.
I thought it was the 22nd, right? Because that's just a couple. Yeah, it's 5 days from now. Yeah. So Sunday the 22nd, we will be live again. That'll technically be episode 3. And then when you wake up on Monday morning, all of our first 3 episodes, if you'd like to listen to them again for any reason via audio, they will be dropped on all your major audio platforms. So Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Google, whatever. I got all that stuff set up in the back end, but I wanted to drop
Mhm.
a nice little Disney drop of episodes. So those first 3 episodes will
Ooh.
go live all at the exact same time. And in that way, our listening viewers have something to listen to for a little bit, and then we will continue to make sure that we let every single episode know when the following episode will drop, because with Adam's schedule we do these kind of how it works best for us, and yeah, we're dads, so my schedule about to
Mhm.
free up a lot, his schedule stays the same, it's just busy.
Yeah.
um so
Yeah.
that was a whole
Soon it's
lot.
just gonna get busier.
Oh man, July is
July
look, hey,
15th.
I literally said to Kels, I was like, all right, so I know we got our picnic this weekend, but finally
Yep.
next weekend we got a free weekend and we're not gonna do nothing.
Wrong.
Right? That's exactly what she said. She was
Wrong.
like, "What free weekend? You're going out to your whole little clinic." And I was like, "I don't want to
Yeah.
do this anymore."
But
It's
hey,
like,
good for you're off. You're gonna be off that Sunday though.
yeah.
Me, not so much. I got to be there both days.
Well, nobody
The worst
told
part
you.
is that next Saturday is I get off at 5 a.m. and then I gotta be at the place at I don't know, 10.
Oh
So it
wow.
takes about an hour to get there. So I'll probably get
Yeah.
2.5 hours of sleep. So I'm gonna try to stay awake during that whole conference. I'm gonna need you to hit me a
Yeah.
little bit and take my eyes open so I
Hold
can
on,
make
hold
sure
on,
I'm
hold
up.
on, hold on. Do I need to? I gotta bring the smelling salts and hit you on the back.
Yeah,
What?
oh yeah. Strap the belt up real tight. I'm ready to go.
Oh
Oh
man.
my goodness.
If only you guys knew about the inside joke right there. That was
Yeah,
hilarious.
but
But exactly.
mm,
And we did start the preliminary work on merch. We've had a lot of people ask us about merch, so we want to let you know we have started the preliminaries on merch. We've got just a couple of things we want to get done, but I would say tentatively, I think it's safe to say that Adam and I would like to have merch launched within probably the next 30 days. And then the nice
mhm,
thing about it is that you don't have to wait on us. You'll be able to visit the website that the merch will live on, and then just go ahead and order your size, your favorite color, your this, your that, or whatever, and then it'll come shipped directly to you. So just give us a little bit of time to make sure we give some options. But what I do want to say is if you have any merch recommendations, please join our Facebook page. If you're a Facebook person, we're on every major social media. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X/Twitter. I still call it Twitter. We're on all of those. So if you have any sort of merch ideas that you would like to give us, feel free to drop a comment anywhere that you can find us. We read through that stuff pretty regularly, and yeah, we again will love the engagement, because the more that we talk on there, the more that it gets seen, and the more families and fathers that we can touch. So, all right, I
so we
believe
get started, huh?
that's it. Yeah, that's all the housekeeping. So, again, if you have anything that you felt or wanted to ask in the moment, please don't hesitate. Throw it in the chat. And we will get that. Kels, make sure you text me that. I see the exclamation point socials. That's a great command. We do need it. Text me that or whatever. Put it in our note, and we'll get that knocked out as well. But and I need to start putting that in our video stuff too. I should put all our socials in our videos too. I gotta remember that as well. Okay, great. Um,
I'll probably forget.
don't worry. It's I'll remember once I see it, and I'll be mad. So it'll be okay.
Mhm.
All right, here we go. So now we're going to do our actual quick welcome back to the show intro for the audio episodes, and then this will be the show moving forward. Again, please don't hesitate to drop anything that you hear, desire, or whatever that is a positive, engaging, or constructive in the chat, and we'll check back in with you guys once we get done having our discussion. All right. All right, so here we go. Let me double check this, because apparently we're having all kinds of issues today. All right, so here we
Think
go.
we're
I'm going to hit
moving
record
smooth.
right now. Hitting record. All right, it's actively recording. All right, here we go.
Uh oh. Uh oh.
Welcome back to Coaching Dads Unfiltered. I'm Devin. Alongside me is my wonderful host, Adam, and we are just a couple of millennial dads keeping it real. Uh, Today's episode is going to be all about becoming a dad. That's why we titled it the way that we titled it. It's literally titled "So You're Dead Now." Adam, let the people know exactly when did you know, or what was that moment that you were like, "Damn, I'm really a dad."
Hmm. I guess it could be at a prison, and I got an email from Courtney. You know, a good old email. I don't know what my email was at the time, but she came out and was like, "Hey, yeah, I'm pregnant." I'm like, "Huh? Oh, what? I'm in the middle of work and just get an email like because we weren't allowed phones. We had our computer to check and stuff, and I got the email and I'm like, I just turned white. I'm like, which was fine because
Yeah,
I was ready, but it was just where I was, and I'm like, it kind of threw me off guard. We kind of had a feeling a little bit, but I think once she said it, it kind of hit me. I was
yeah,
like, oh, oh, I'm gonna be a dad. I was young. I was 20. I was 20 at the time when I found out she was pregnant. So it was like, oh, I didn't have that experience to go out and party at 21 and do all that, which I really could care less about because I would do it all over again in a heartbeat.
right,
Because
right.
becoming a dad is probably the best thing that happened to me. So yeah. How about you?
Man, that's crazy. The fact that you were
The
email chatting,
email,
email was
yes.
hilarious because it's so funny because the little things we find out we're so alike. When me and Kelsey first started talking, even though I took her phone number down, our main form of communication was also email because of what she does for work and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
And it just worked out well that I also was on a computer a lot for work, so the email was way better. That's just so funny. But no, man, I think for me, it really didn't hit. I think just because of whatever, I'm gonna put Kelsey on blast, right? She
Uh oh.
she does she performs a service for her job that unfortunately allows her to see a lot of sadness. I'll put it like that.
Yeah.
Um, and even though I never missed an appointment, I was ecstatic when we got our little sticks and they came back blue or whatever it was. And
Mhm.
like, and we went through a little bit of something because Miss Riley was definitely you've met her. She is who
Mhm.
she is, and she's very what's the word I'm looking for? Stubborn, right? And she was even
She
stubborn
might take
before
after her
she
dad.
took yeah, calm down. She was she was stubborn before she took her first breath on this earth. Because she was uh, breach, I think is the word I'm looking for. Breach, is that accurate? I think that's right.
Is that
Breach, where she
yeah.
was, so she was bottom down instead of
Bottom
head
up.
down. Yeah,
Yeah, bottom down.
yeah.
Yep.
So, so we did this thing called, they tried to move her manually, and Kelsey had to get an
Well, yeah.
epidural and all of that, and that
Mm.
that didn't work. So it really wasn't until I was in that OR and Riley got placed in my hand and I got to cut, a piece of the umbilical cord and stuff like that,
Mm.
that that it was like, okay, like
This is it.
you are a father now. Like you are this girl's dad forever and
Hmm.
ever and ever. Like it doesn't matter anything else in the world. Forever you're this girl's dad.
Yep.
And yeah, that was it, man. Yeah, when I was in there and like it just yeah, that was that moment. And that is crazy because I remember stats like they were just yesterday and all that
Hmm.
jazz. And like I remember I could tell you exactly how the OR looked and all that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, so like it's like ingrained. So yeah, that was the moment for sure. Just like I said, just because you just never know, right? Things can unfortunately turn south, and so
Yeah.
it is what it is. We had some family members and, some friends and all kinds of stuff. So just, yeah, I'm one of those guys you got to wait till it is, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was that moment. That was that moment
Hmm.
for sure. So,
Well, let me
uh,
start off with this. What did you think fatherhood would be like? What was your process while you were waiting? And
man,
now, I mean, still now, too. We're learning
facts.
every day.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Like learning every day, and I would say that I always you always have an idea of like the parent you want to be, right?
Hmm.
Um, and I have some good parenting role models in my life. I'm blessed with that. Some, my dad was, as best as he could be, and I've got, I had a phenomenal grandfather and awesome uncles and stuff like that. So like, I had an idea, but it was an idea, right? Like, the
Hmm.
execution in the moment is so
Yeah, you're
different,
like, all
right?
right,
Yeah.
I got this down.
You know what I
And then
mean?
it
Like,
happens,
you're
you're
like,
like,
yeah.
what am I supposed to do?
Man, I'm talking I was like, I was killing, like, we were so cool in the little class, the little prenatal classes, that for a while there, me and Kelsey were actually like the header pitcher for the class. Like we was
Uh-oh.
in there locked in, like, I could swaddle a baby like no other. I could change a diaper with one hand, but that's different. That little doll don't move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, one
yeah.
thing at the you're like,
It
"Hold
doesn't
on now."
explode some stuff where it's not
Yeah.
supposed to be exploding.
Yeah, exactly. So, um, what I thought fatherhood would be like, I mean, I again, I'm the oldest of 3, so I have 2 younger siblings, but I was like, my little brother and I are 7 years apart, so, like, I remember a little bit of him being a baby, but, like,
Right.
I don't really know, and my sister never really played with dolls like that. Like, she had an American Girl doll or whatever, but never, like, the baby thing, you know what I'm saying? So, like, that was
Mhm.
probably the hardest part. I feel like now she's about to turn 7 this fall, like, now we're starting to get into, like, the coast area, if you will. Like, we got the wheels greased and we know what we're doing here, and I
Mhm.
get this until apparently she hits puberty. I've heard puberty is a whole different thing, so we'll
Mm.
revisit this episode in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But what about you, man? What did you think? How was, this fatherhood? Because I mean, you've had to start it 3 times over at this point, so you know a little bit more
Yeah,
than I
yeah.
do.
Well, after the first time, it was actually I can't even say after the first time because my second was a girl.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? It's me and my two older brothers. It was
Yeah.
just boys around the whole time. So when we found out it was a girl, it changed everybody's perspective. Not on Courtney's side, my side. My mom's like, a girl? What am I supposed to do? She had
Yeah.
three boys. Everyone's like in a panic, like, man, what do we got to do? How is this going to change? And I'll tell you what, having a boy and a girl, in my perspective, I can't speak for everybody else, but having a boy is a lot simpler than having a girl.
That's
A lot of people are probably going to
crazy.
say something different, but I'll tell you what, the girls have 965 different attitudes in an hour. At least mine. I have a
Yeah.
9-year-old and a 5-year-old,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you, Emma.
Yeah.
sh- She, she's something.
Yeah.
Everyone that knows me knows Emma. They're like, hey, she's gonna be a problem. She is gonna be a problem. I'm like, man, and they're like, and she's not even hitting that age yet where she's
Yeah.
gonna turn into that problem. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I got to get ready for it.
Yeah.
Um,
Emma
but yeah,
definitely the one.
yeah, yeah. Same thing like you said, man. My dad was in the picture every single day for us. Like he was coaching, he was doing all this stuff with us. Every time he was with us. Every vacation, we're always going. My grandpa, I was with my grandpa all the time, helping him do stuff around the house, and so I always had those role models. And I'm like, all right, cool. I want to be just like them. And then reality kicks in, and you sit there and you're like, damn, they didn't teach me any of this.
Well,
They told me about it, but they didn't help. They didn't teach me. I got to figure this out. And
yeah.
obviously you ask for help. And same thing with my dad with having a girl. You know, we, I can't tell you when he changed the diaper. He's like, this is weird. I don't know what to do. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's different.
That's
It's
so
very
funny
different
to
when you only
hear.
have boys.
That's so funny to hear because we wanted a girl. Like, I've always
Yeah.
wanted to be a girl dad. I felt like I felt like if I was a boy dad, I might have already been on WGN. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I don't have that. I don't know what it is, but like I don't have that soft spot for, and maybe I would have if it's my son, but like I don't have that
Yeah.
soft spot for like my little cousins or like my brother or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't, like if you mess with them, like come on, we gonna have a problem. But like I don't
Yeah.
have that soft spot. And even Riley still gets a lot of the toughness out of me too, but like
So
I
they
have a
have to.
soft spot for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and I knew
Yeah.
that. I was like, I've always wanted to be. I don't know why, but I've always wanted to be a girl dad. So It's
I
just
never
funny to
thought
hear.
that I'd be a girl dad.
Never?
I had Luke, and I'm like, all right, I'm about to have another boy, and no, it was a girl. I'm like, "Ah, okay, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
And then with Emma, we had a gender reveal. We had the boiled egg incident that we were doing the gender reveal,
Yeah.
and I had the one that was a boy. Hit it, and it didn't break open. I'm like, yes, I'm having another boy. I'm
Yeah.
stoked. I'm ready. And they're like, oh my god, that was the wrong one. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, it's another girl. I'm like, oh no.
That's
I mean, granted,
hilarious.
she's healthy and everything. That's all that matters in
Of
the end. But
course.
I was stoked for having another boy. I'm like, yes, I get another boy that gets to play football, gets to do all these fun sports. And then they're like, oh, it's a girl. And then
Yeah.
come to find out it's Emma, and it's like, oh, well, she
Yeah.
did that on purpose. She's coming after me after saying I wanted it a boy. She's coming for
Yeah.
me.
For sure. So I that leads me into what I was gonna ask you next was what surprised you the most, but I'm gonna say having that second girl, huh?
That. Yep. Yep. Exactly. That was the biggest surprise because everyone's stoked. Everyone's happy. Everyone's screaming because everyone's thinking it's a boy. Everyone's like, oh, yay, boy. And I'm like, all right, I already have his name picked out, ready to go. And everyone's like, wait, that was the wrong one. I'm like, what? I thought it was the. I'm like, man,
Oh, man.
this isn't April 1st, is it? You guys ain't joking, are you? They're
Yeah,
like, no, no, it's a girl. I'm like, oh,
that's hilarious.
so yeah. How about you? What surprised you the most?
Uh,
It could even be now.
so here's what's crazy. What surprises me the most is, like, the whole time and take this with a grain of salt, we were very blessed. I know that, and this isn't, like, to boast or anything like that, but what surprised me the most was how much everybody hyped up not sleeping. Like, "Oh, you're not gonna
They
sleep. You're
hyped it
not
up.
gonna" like, not hyped it up, but like, "Oh, you're
Oh,
not
I
gonna
was like,
sleep. You're
man,
not gonna
I don't know
sleep.
who hypes that
Yeah,
stuff up.
you're not gonna sleep." Like, "Oh, just be prepared. Like, you're gonna be up. You're gonna be up." Hey, Riley liked
She
to sleep.
slept.
Right? Hey, Riley,
She still
from
does.
the from the jump, like, we was super blessed. Like, obviously, she woke up in the middle of the night. Like, it was obviously worse for Kelston than it
A
was for
bottle,
me
you need a
because,
bottle.
yeah, the breastfeeding and all of the pumping and
Yeah,
all of that. So it is worse for the women for sure, no matter what
100%.
your thing is. But like just the way that they were like, "Oh, be ready, be ready, be ready. Like, get your sleep in now, get your sleep in now." That's probably the number one thing was like how well she slept. Like we were super blessed. She slept really well. We were very scheduled, very regimented, and she still is very scheduled and regimented till this day. And I really thank that knowledge and appreciate that we stood with that and didn't like waver
Yeah.
because I think that helps a lot of people. So if you're a new dad out there and you getting ready,
Mm.
that's the tip right there. Like sit down, get a schedule with
Yeah.
the missus, and like just be about it. Be about it and be as helpful as
Or
you
this
can.
is this is for dads only. Make sure only dads are listening right now. All the moms out there, cover your ears, close your ears. Dads, sometimes when you're kind of tired and you hear the baby, just keep sleeping until they wake up. You know what I'm saying? Keep sleeping until they wake up, and they gotta get up because at some point they're like, "Oh, I guess I'll get up," and you'd be like, "Oh," you get up after they come in, like, "Oh, did I miss something? What's wrong?" And then all right, yeah, everyone can join back in. Sorry, I had to
Clearly,
throw
you
that out
can
there.
see who's got the
It's
comedy
happened. It's
side.
happened. It's
Yeah,
happened.
I
I've
mean,
done that.
it's happened.
She knows that.
It's for sure happened. I can believe that. But the other one too was like, um, just how fast time went. Like I felt like the time between when we brought her home to like when she moved the first time, like that's
Mhm.
what I would tell you. Like, do whatever it is that you want to do during that time. Like, you just set them up, prop them up, like get them right. Obviously, engage with them and stuff like that. But like, do whatever it is you want to do during that time because that's not the hard time. That's actually easy. Once they get to moving and they're mobile
Oh, it's
and getting
over
into
with.
stuff,
Yeah, it's over.
that's the hard time. Like, so
You
make
gotta put
sure
locks on
you
closet
got to
doors,
be
locks on
prepping.
cabinets.
You got to be,
You gotta take the caps off the stove so they don't turn it on.
yeah, you
I
got
mean,
to
that's
be
an old school
prepping.
stove, but
You got to be
yeah.
prepping, okay? So just make sure that
Yeah.
whatever it is during that first couple of months before they get to moving, like enjoy that time because once they get to
Hmm.
moving, oh, you ain't never getting them to stop.
And
Seriously.
prep all that now. The locks on the cabinets.
Yeah.
Prep that now when they're little.
Yeah.
So when they start moving, you're like, "Ha! I'm already ahead of you."
Facts. Yeah, because they ain't slowing down and they will find a way.
Yep.
Oh man. So let's see. Uh Funniest or realist wake up call moments. You got any of those?
Ah, I don't funniest. I don't know if there's. Oh, okay, all right. I'm gonna put Abby on the spot. Funniest wake up moment with Abby. I say she's probably about one and a half, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe two, maybe three. I don't know. It was something. It was one of those times, and we hear her moving around in the room, and we go in the room, and she's got her pull up off. Well, what does she have in her hand that's smeared all over the walls
No.
and her bed? Yes, she decided to play with it. She decided to play with her poop and smear
Oh,
it
no.
on the walls and the bed. And you got me in the background, like, nope, I can't do it. I can't do it. Put her in the bathtub and just take her outside and hose her off.
Yeah.
That was probably. I don't even know if that's funny. That's
Oh, it's funny to
scary.
everybody else but you.
That's scary. It was scary. Oh man.
Oh man, that's nuts.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah. Realist wake up call is now. Waking up every day and seeing them grow. And like I took Luke for a haircut today. He cut all his curls off and like he looks like he's about to drive a car.
Yeah, it
You
is
know, and,
nuts.
and,
Yeah.
and it's weird. Like 1 second you're sitting there looking at him, holding them in your arms, and then you blink, and then boom.
Yeah.
He's hitting middle school this year.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I thought I just had him last year.
Bro.
It's insane.
That's all I've been hearing out of Riley's mouth is I can't wait to go to first grade. I'm like,
Yeah,
dude, first grade? I remember
slow
when you
down.
took your first steps. Like that feel like
Yeah,
that just happened.
yeah.
Speaking of first steps, I'll tell you the funniest wake up call for both. I think Kelsey will agree too. I know she listening. We chilling. We chilling. So take what I said earlier about like once they start, enjoy that time until they start to move, but just be aware of when they are starting to move. Because we were not. We were not apparently somehow just uncompletely aware. And so we have this big sectional, and with the big sectional, we had a giant cocktail ottoman. She loved it. She loved being on the cocktail ottoman, and then me and Kels could spread out on the big couch or whatever, and we'd all just kind of lounge there. And she
Yeah.
had a boppy. Well,
Oh.
we didn't know that she was ready to move. We didn't know.
Hmm.
We're first time parents, so we don't really know. But she's sitting up on the cocktail ottoman with her little blankie, chilling, little whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then next thing I know, I'm walking around the couch, headed to the bathroom. Kelsey's in the kitchen, and we hear, "Thud." What you drop?
What
You
was that?
dropped something in the kitchen? And I come back, walk around, and there go Riley on the floor looking up at me. It rolled right off that bad boy. And
uh,
after that, we was like, so we're rolling now. And let me tell
mm,
you, once they roll, they quick to crawl. Once they figure it out,
mhm,
them little arms and feet get to moving, they done got back on their belly. You give them a couple days of that belly time, they get to holding their head up, it's over. So
mhm,
that was the funniest one. Like we just were like, oh shit. Whoops. That was look, she
mhm.
laughed out there right now. I just heard her laugh out in the other room. Oh.
Yeah, Luke came out too once he heard his name.
Oh man, it was hilarious. And I agree with you, dude. Like the realest wake up call is like you said, like right now while we're still in it, right? Like I can't even believe that's been 7 years. It'll be 7 years just a couple months for her. And like the
Yeah.
cheerleading, right? Like seeing her try on her cheer outfit the other day. It's like, who is this little girl? And like
Mhm.
she like we took a picture. She had her hair, Kelsey had done her hair, and she had this coffee in her hand, just because she was carrying it in for us from the car. And it was like, wait a minute now, you look like you about to go to high school. Like, calm down, like slow down.
Yeah.
Like you just never like just cherish every single moment. Cherish every
Yeah.
single moment because they go so fast. I mean,
Yeah.
so fast. Oh man. Real quick, I want to say thank you to all our listeners, man. We appreciate you. If you got a moment, go ahead, leave us a comment, like this podcast, and do us a favor, share it. Share it with a family member, share it with a friend, share it with an upcoming dad that you know about. We want to touch as many of you guys as possible because we're just here to share the tough conversations, the fun conversations, and keep it 100% real all the time. So we appreciate everybody for following through and listening to us. And make sure you check us out when we go live. You can find whenever we're going live on any of our social platforms if you'd like to join the conversation right in the moment.
Things no one warned us about.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Mm,
That's a good one. Because there's a lot of how much time we
mm,
got? Well, how long is
yeah.
the episode? We should have made an episode about this one alone.
Yeah, just this question.
Man, just give me like your top 3. Give me your
E-
top 3. Yeah, let's do like a top 3. See, because I'm curious to
Everything.
see
That's it.
everything.
Every single
I'm
thing.
I'm curious to see if maybe we have a couple of the same in the top 3. So,
They didn't warn us about the different color poops that they have.
bro,
The
hello?
exploding ones. The
Oh,
you know see and you didn't have a boy. So you didn't have to
no.
worry about them peeing and it shooting straight up
Ooh,
at your
see?
face.
Do you see
You
what
know?
I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah, you didn't have
Yeah,
to
but
worry
you
about
gotta
that,
be careful because the girls is just as bad though, because like they'll sit in it and then they get the little, they get a little
Right,
sick and
yeah.
whatnot. So you gotta be careful. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, but the boys, man, they're different. Like at one point, you just as soon as you undo the diaper, you take a wipe and you put it right on top so it don't
right.
pee on you. But now they make these stuffs that you put on and cover and all this other stuff. They make all
Mm,
this new stuff. We didn't have none of that back then.
nah.
I mean, I say back then like it was like 50 years ago. It was 11, but it seems like
Shoot, that's
it's
a
a long
decade.
time.
Yeah, that's a decade. Just
Yeah.
a lot of stuff has changed. Like
Yeah.
we didn't like. I'll put it to you like this: the number one thing for me is communication. Like you really don't understand how smart your child is and like how much they quick up, like not quick up, but pick up on like what you're trying to teach them before they're
Yeah.
one. I mean, Riley was signing with us and stuff like that. I felt like six
Mhm.
months to a year. She knew that
Yeah.
she could do this for more. She knew that
More,
she
yeah.
could do other, other small things for whatever and this, that, and the third. Um,
Mhm.
I think that's the big one because I feel like we never like we did the little baby talk thing, but we always like talked with her and that
Talked, yeah.
showcases like how well she
Cuz they know
speaks.
what you're saying.
Facts.
As much as you don't think they do, they know
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah. 100%.
Like with my niece now, she's 1
Yeah.
and you could talk to her and she'll know.
Oh
You'll
yeah.
ask her something and she'll say, "Mm-hmm," or
Yeah.
she'll shake her head. No, she knows. They
Yeah.
know what's going on.
So that's number one for me. Number two, is even though we worked on it and like it went well with us, is like the schedule. Like no one really talks about that or like the importance of it, but like the schedule, man, I'm gonna drive that one home
Sleep
a lot.
schedule,
Yeah. And even just
feeding.
like a right, just like a day, like just like a day schedule, right? Because
Yeah.
then they fall into that routine and it's just becomes
Yep.
so nice as you add to the schedule. And like now, me and
Hmm.
Adam will tell you, like we live super busy lives, but because our kids grew up on the schedule, they're used to it, right? It's like we could just be like, hey, we're here for 2 hours. We're here for, this hour. You have this much time for homework. You have this much time for fun because they know that
Yep.
that's what it is. And like lights out is lights out. And like we've kind of
Hmm.
kept that. It obviously changes a little bit with the days and stuff, but it's just the fact that
Yeah.
like,
Once football and cheer hit and they're till
yeah,
8 o'clock at night, it's like,
yeah,
all right, schedule's got to change a little bit.
right,
'Cause, you got to go home and eat. You got to shower. You got to get
right.
ready for bed.
But still keep up with it and they still know what's going on. So like the schedule, no one really warns you about that. They don't because they don't, they just tell you like, oh, you're gonna lose sleep, but they don't
Be
ever really
ready.
right, right. Be ready, but they don't ever really offer a
What
lot
am
of
I
people
ready
don't really
for?
offer any like constructive part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, here's ways to combat that, here's ways to help that.
Yeah.
And then the other things is oh um just how fast everything happens. I mean,
Don't blink.
right, literally, and like things are happening. Like it's almost like when they're like really, really young, like stuff goes from like it's very stagnant for a second. Like yeah, they're growing
Hmm.
because they're eating and whatever, but then like once they hit like what they call developmental leaps, like people don't warn you about developmental leaps. Like once those
Hmm.
kick in, like every day your child is different. And, like,
Yeah.
you have to so, like, it's almost like you gotta keep up with them versus them keeping up with you, because you have to
Hmm.
be in tune with, like, "Oh, that's what this is. Okay, so
Mm,
here's how we interact with that now. Oh, that's what this is. Here's how we interact with that now. So like
yeah.
those to me like felt like those are things that I wish I had known going into it. I was
Mm,
glad that I had a good wife that was very educated and like did the mom groups and all of that jazz. So like she was able to educate me about that. But those are
right.
conversations that don't make the dinner table, right? Like they don't really like you hear about it a little bit, like oh yeah, he went through a little leap this week or whatever,
That's
and
it.
you're
That's all
like
they say, though.
yeah, you don't really know what it's about though. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like yeah, those are the big three for me. Those are the
No
big three for
explosive
me.
poop for you, huh?
Riley did that. That was a Kelsey issue, not a Devin issue. Yeah,
Mm,
she loved exploding pooping on Kelsey. That wasn't really a
uh,
Devin issue. Yeah, she gave Kelsey the runaround for the poops for sure. So,
mm.
but I'm like you, like you know me. Once if it's a bad smell, I'm out. We had to
Uh-oh.
get we had a diaper genie because I couldn't do it. I was like, oh no,
Yeah.
I can't. I was either taking diapers out every time we changed it right outside, and then
Throwing
we
it
got
out.
this diaper genie thing, which is
Just put it right in
yeah,
there. Yep.
if you can't do smells, I highly recommend the diaper genie. That thing
What
is
after? I don't even know how many
fantastic.
it holds. I mean, they got different sizes. You stuff them in there. You could probably get about 20 of
Yeah.
them in there or
Oh,
so.
yeah, yeah. I think ours held up like the little thing was like up to 50. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it was like up to like 50 or
You
whatever.
just take it out, take the
Yeah.
whole bag out, and throw it
Yeah, it
out.
ties it up. Oh, it was great.
Yep.
Didn't smell a thing. It was fantastic. And it helps keep
Mhm.
your house fresh because man, oh man, boy, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. For sure. What you got any one or two things that like you were like, dang, they ain't really warned me about this?
No, not really. I mean, I was kind of prepared.
Mm,
At the same time, I wasn't. Like,
yeah.
everyone can tell you certain things to do and what not to do, but when it comes time to the actual stuff and to do it, it changes.
Yeah.
Someone could tell you, "Oh, hey man, go make sure that you have this house done like this or the room set up like this." And then it's time and you're like, "Yeah, I got to change all this. This is all different. This ain't working how it's supposed to. This ain't how they told me to do it." So, I wouldn't say one specific thing.
Got you. Okay. That makes 100% sense. That makes 100% sense to me. Uh Speaking of those differences, let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. I know both of us would love to have had this conversation with our old men.
Yep.
But let's talk about how it is different because obviously we know what it was like. Like for instance, something as simple as I know you was probably like me. We used to run our little streets on our little bikes all over, next town over, so on and
Mhm.
so forth. We
Yep.
don't even fathom that shit today. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Now
could not
kids don't even go out on bikes.
you know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't even fathom letting Riley disappear on the bike out of my eyesight like that right now. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
yeah.
Your parents used to say, "Oh, be home when street lights come on," but you knew
Facts.
they meant a little bit after the time street lights came on
Yeah.
because they
You
weren't
had
worried.
you had to get
You
that
know?
phone call. You had to get that
Yeah,
phone call in and you know, you had to get that phone call in and be like, "Hey, ma, I know that, look, hey, I'm on the way right now. I'm like
yeah, I'm coming. I promise.
I promise I'm on the way." Yeah, had to hit that home phone number too because you
Yeah,
knew what it
I
was.
was either across the street or I was like 10 houses away. Those were my spots that I was at all the time. So they
Nice.
knew where I was.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter. I could be, hey, be home at 9. Okay,
Yeah. See, I
I'll be
was
there.
ripping and
You
running.
know where I'm at.
Yeah, we ripped and run a little bit further than that. Like I would be over there.
Occasionally, we'd go out and play some football somewhere or go play
Yeah,
some lob ball at the park or something, but
yeah,
most of the time, that's where I was.
for sure, for sure. So, what's like something that you would say you're doing either similar to how dad raised you, or like is there like what are some of those core values that you kept, like that you try to pass along because you like I appreciated the way dad did that for me.
It's hard because my dad did everything.
Yeah,
Like even me at 31 last year, my dad was still coming and doing stuff.
yeah.
And when he was doing stuff, you know how people are always like, "Oh yeah, have your kid out there holding the light for when I'm in the garage." No, don't be in my dad's way when he's in the garage
Yeah.
because you holding the flashlight all wrong. Get out, get out.
Hey, I
Go
got
inside.
you.
Go do something inside. I got this.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when I'm done. And even still, like last year when he was doing it, he would still like, yeah, no, I'm good. Like I'll take care of it. And a couple times he'd have Luke in there. He'd show Luke some stuff when he was in the garage, or he'd have Luke help him out. But me, man, I never had the chance to go in there with him. He always kicked us out right away. But they
Yeah,
always say grandkids are different.
facts.
Um, yeah, it's completely different. But like back then, it was different. It's a whole different ball game back then than it is now. Um, but like I said, my dad did everything, so I didn't have to worry. I didn't have to do anything. Yeah, I just sit back and he'll take care of it. So I'm trying my hardest to try to build all that in myself.
Yeah,
That way I could show Luke um, how to, I want him to be. I'm trying to be like my dad, but it's hard because you can't compare
yeah,
to someone that did everything.
yeah,
Me, I got Courtney that does a lot. So I feel like I think she's got some of my dad in her because she does everything.
yeah.
So
I agree.
I give her props for that because she could take care of everything just how he did. So
Yeah.
it's hard. It's hard to say.
Yeah. This question is difficult. Um, my relationship with my dad was complex. It's probably the best way to put it. Right. It was never a question of whether or not he loved us or anything like that. Like nothing like that. He wasn't a bad dad. That's not what I'm trying to say. But the how do I say this politically correct?
We're unfiltered, bro.
I know, but the original relationship. So like, here's the thing. I was the oldest of three.
Mhm.
Right? We bounced around a couple of times. We lived a couple of places. Like we didn't exactly have a easy life by any means, right? Like and I will always love and respect my parents for every sacrifice they ever made for us. Um it was hard for my dad. Like you could like growing up now I can see that like he was in a relationship. I feel like I don't know if my parents would have been my parents if I didn't happen. It's a weird conversation to say. It's a weird thing to say, but like the reality of the situation is like I knew my parents weren't going to stay together at a very young age, right? Like you could just see it. Like the dynamic wasn't there, the energy wasn't there, and they were just better when they were individualized, right? So like if I was just with my mom, like she was great. If I was just with my dad, he was great. But like when you brought them together, it was not great. Um, so early in life, um, because of their relationship, it made it more difficult for our relationship to really blossom, right?
Right.
Because like if I got my dad in one-on-one situations or like just me and my brother and my sister and my dad, like yeah, it was great. But like just like the whole family dynamic for us was not great. So I had to make sure that like I was very this is gonna sound shitty, but like very selective about who I was going to start a family with because I wanted to make
Yeah.
sure that that person that I was never going to potentially feel like that. And I know people change and things change and whatnot. And I think that's why we waited so late. Like you're young, not super younger than me, but you started a family younger than me, right? Like I'm
Right.
about to be 40 and Riley's only 7, you know what I'm saying? Like, so calm down.
Shoo.
Uh,
Right.
I got a couple years till 40, but it was like I waited and I did that on purpose. Like, it was kinda on
Yeah.
purpose, kinda not, but, like, kinda on purpose. So, like,
Right.
um
You wanted to make sure it was right.
yeah, that's and so, like, I love everything my dad ever did for me. He was great. He's the reason why I love football, right? Like, football Sundays with my dad were the greatest thing ever. Like, I'm trying to tell you. Like, I would talk like, most of our conversations were about sports because that's what
Yeah.
we had, and, like, that's what our thing was. And then as I got older, conversation shifted to be more, like, fatherly. And then like I
Right.
learned a lot about my dad and I was like, oh like dang, I didn't know none of this like growing up. You know what I'm saying? Because it just wasn't really there wasn't really that space for that love to be there for that those
Right.
conversations to be there. I say all that to say that I don't put like I always for better or for worse, I separate our relationships. Like my relationship with Kelsey is extremely important and it is here. But my relationship with Riley is even more important, and it is here. because I learned at a very young age that I'm not saying me and Kelsey are splitting up. Don't get it twisted. That's not what I'm saying. So
Mm,
keep your comments to yourself. I'm not looking. But she's always my daughter. There's
yeah.
potential that that may not be, but this is forever. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
like I make sure that I hold that relationship on a pedestal, right? So like
Right.
Riley is going to always benefit over everyone else. So that's one of the things that my dad like really, because like our relationship never wavered no matter what was going on with him and my mom, like never, like our
Mm,
relationship never wavered. He did everything that he could do within the confines of what he could do. So like
mm.
that that is what I have. But it is way different, dude. I used to run the street. I'm talking like run the street. Like I'd be on my bike.
Yeah, but
Wait,
see, you
I'm
didn't have
talking.
to. You didn't have to worry about dad asking where you're at. It was always mom.
Yeah, but mom
Dad was
knew
just
just
like,
like
yeah.
you.
Dad was just like, yeah, let him be. He'll be all right. You know.
Yeah, because he knew, but see, he knew. So, like, again, like, I went through a lot of stuff. Like, so my dad knew I could take care of myself. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
Mhm.
he knew. Mom's obviously, she's always going to be a little worry word or whatever. And I appreciate
Yeah.
that. That was that love. But, like, she knew where I was too. Like, it just so happened that my span was a little bit longer than 10 houses. You know what I'm saying? It was more
Yeah.
like 10 city blocks, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, we
Yeah.
was ripping and running out there on our bikes and stuff like that. And, yeah, but the kids don't know. Like we was making jokes the other day, like they don't know about having to interrupt your internet session because grandma called or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey,
Mhm.
why I can't get on the phone,
Dial.
get off the internet. You know, like they
Yeah,
don't, we can't even
dial
say
up.
these things
They
like
don't know
that.
the
'Cause they don't-
phone where you have to sit there, hit a
you know
button,
what I'm saying?
swirl it to get
Rotary,
one
yeah,
number.
they don't even know what a rotary phone is. You know what I'm saying? Like, talk about call and
Dude,
collect. Boy, you don't even
yeah.
waiting. I never forget. Sometimes I be seeing the
Hey,
kids.
I'll
They be,
call you after 9 o'clock when it's
I
free
was
minutes.
I was just wanna say, boy had a cell phone, didn't use it till after 9 anyways. Pay per text. Y'all are
Yeah.
spoiled. You don't even know, boy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's just it is way, but you're right. It is so different. And it's so different because at such a young age, they have access to everything.
Yeah.
I feel like we used to joke about, oh, you're sheltered because you didn't watch like, Cow and Chicken or Beavis and Butthead or whatever the shows were back when we were kids.
Yeah.
You got whole kids watching what the hottest shows like Rick and Morty and like boy, you watching that. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't got no business seeing that on any platform. And
Yeah.
now you have to watch out because everybody gets a piece of tech and they're young at a young age. Both of us have our youngest daughters have tablets. So we know what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We pay attention to what they're watching and so on and so forth. But you just never know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
because it could be Peppa Pig. But if you actually watch Peppa Pig, that's one you should know. Let me go back. Don't let none of your kids watch Peppa Pig. That little bratty B word. Don't do it. She's terrible for your kids. She gonna have them acting out. Okay, Peppa Pig. She ain't the one. All right, don't do it. I'm telling you. Trust me. We changed from Peppa to some other stuff, and Riley energy changed a lot. Don't do Peppa Pig. Okay. Yeah, she ain't the one. But anyways, yeah, like you just have to be careful. Like it's so many
Yeah.
things because they get access to everything because it just
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying. And
It's
obviously
out
there's
there.
right
You
there's
turn a TV
parental
show on and a
controls.
commercial pops up.
You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Right. And it's only so much you can do, and like obviously so much you can limit and all that jazz. And we do all of that properly, but like it's just different because before you didn't have that exposure. It wasn't like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you just was out being a kid. So like I love it when
Mhm.
I see kids out being kids and not on
Oh, it's
Fortnite
great.
and not on Minecraft, not on this and that. Like I love that Riley loves to go to the park. I'll never scoff
Mm.
when Riley want to go to unless it's 150 degrees outside or it's negative 150 degrees outside. But like for the most part, anything in between, we don't scoff at that. We love it. You know what I'm saying? Because like
Yeah.
we want her to be a kid. So yeah, that was a long winded answer. Sorry.
All
Uh
right. That
We
covers
kinda
everything
already
right
talked
there.
about, like, the values they
Yeah.
instilled that we still
That's what I
use.
mean.
I
Yeah,
don't
it
care
covered.
about that.
It covered
Yeah.
pretty much that
What are we
while
doing
talking.
different? I feel like we have to do everything different. But for real, like, what's
Yeah.
some things that, like do you have like, I have some things that from my dad that I'm like, "I love you, dad," but, like, I would not. Like, I would never. You know what I'm saying? Like, if when I have my family, I'm like, I'm not gonna do this." Is there anything that, like, happened or like any instances with you and your dad that like, hey, I love you, but like I would never.
No,
That's great.
honestly, I don't have everything my dad did was for us. You know, the kids,
Yeah.
boys. You know, my mom, the family. You know,
Yeah.
he was everyone that knew my dad, friends that I met at the police department that would be at my house were like, dude, your dad's dad. Like that
Mhm.
dude is the coolest dude on the planet. And my mom would hate it because he'd always make his dad jokes, you know. And she's like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But everyone's laughing. And she's like, why are these people like think? Why do they think it's funny? Because it was.
Yeah.
And I think now she realizes, like, oh man, he was the life of the party. He was. The dude made everybody around family,
Yeah.
and that's just how he was. I don't know if it's maybe just how he was raised, and he's like, all right, I'm going to change my ways to make sure that everybody knows me, everybody loves me, and that's just who he was. Even if he was having a bad day and you knew he was having a bad day, he would still make sure that stuff is done and everyone's taken care of.
Yeah.
So I don't think that I would change anything. I
Got
think
you.
that he hit everything right on top, and yeah, I don't know. I can't say that anything was wrong.
Yeah, I don't think I would necessarily say anything was wrong, but I think I would just have different conversations earlier in life. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like you have those conversations that no matter where you go, there's just those conversations, right? Like money. You
Yeah,
don't really talk about money the way you're supposed to talk about money at school. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't even think it's
Or
talked about at school.
yeah, I mean, so like, you know what I'm saying? Like little stuff like that. Like just understand, like I would do those things. I got those conversations.
Yeah,
They came kind of late and I was already kind of whatever.
it's too. We were
Yeah,
past it.
right. You know what I'm saying? So like
I wish you
just
would have told me this a couple years ago.
in fact, hey, I needed this a little bit ago, but I appreciate it now. So like just stuff like that.
Yeah,
And that's not even necessarily a dad thing. I think it was just like an overall thing, you know what I'm saying? But I
yeah.
just remember him talking to me about some stuff and whatever, and like I'm like, damn, like, yeah, we should have had these conversations a couple years ago, pimp. Like, I've already blown all that money. What you mean?
Yeah,
So
that's all gone. Where you at
yeah,
now?
you know what I'm saying? So I just
Let me
think,
get some money real quick.
but no, I'm right there with you. Like I said, my dad always did everything he could within the confines of his ability.
Yeah.
Life
Well, I mean,
sometimes
now
made it
that you did
difficult.
bring up that money thing, and I see Courtney said it, my dad was a stickler about money.
Oh yeah,
He did not like to spend. He always like he would yell at us, "Oh, you don't need to buy that." Or if we're going off to fast food, why you? Oh, you're wasting more money. There you go, blowing money, blowing money.
yeah,
And he's the type that'll if something's broken, he'll take some black electrical tape and just boop, 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 there it's fixed, and he wouldn't go wasting money on buying a new one because hey, guess what? It works.
yeah. I hear that.
And he was strict on that money thing. That's for sure.
Yeah, you gotta be careful, boy. It's quick. It's quick. It will go away
Yeah.
quick. You know what I'm saying? Like
Especially now,
folks.
and everything's just higher, and all the prices are raised. You can't. You buy a little bundle of bananas for $20. Like, oh my goodness,
Yeah, exactly. Well,
what are we doing better
that's
than
what I
what our
was sitting here
fathers did?
racking my head about too. Here's the thing. He did a lot right. You know what I'm saying? I don't know that I'm necessarily doing anything better. I think the only thing that I could like, if I'm being like honest and like being honest, is like the only thing that I could say that I'm doing a little bit better is my my blessing to be able to be there and show up, right? So like it wasn't that my dad didn't want to,
Yeah.
but it was just more or less that he couldn't because he was the breadwinner for our family, right? So like
Hmm.
he worked a lot of hours, and so just unfortunately had to miss a lot of things. And that's just the way that it was. I
Yeah.
don't even know if I would say that he was the breadwinner, but just he worked during the day and my mom worked during the night. So like it just was not, like I said, our dynamic was just weird.
Hmm.
This is the one thing that like again I always remember when he showed up because when he showed up it was huge, it mattered, it made my
Yeah.
day, all that good jazz. But he had to miss a lot of stuff. So I'm blessed to be in a position to where I work at a school, and even prior to that I worked for myself for a long time, so I've been literally with Riley every single day. You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of the one thing that I'm like, man, I wish that I could have had more of these moments with my dad when I was younger, doing these type of things that she's doing now.
Right.
But still extremely thankful for all the moments that we did have and all that jazz. So that's probably the one thing that I'm doing that like stands out to me. So,
Yeah.
what about you?
I my dad was there for all of my stuff.
Yeah,
You knew that he was there because he'd always make himself known.
yeah,
Everybody knew that dad was at the games. He was at everything, school stuff. I remember elementary school. He would even though he was working, he'd take like a lunch break and bring Burger King, and I'd go sit in the back with him while I eat Burger King while everyone's eating school lunch. And I my work schedule doesn't allow me to make everything.
yeah,
Like work and obviously with other stuff. I didn't get to see any of my daughter's cheer competitions this year for spring because
yeah,
I had other obligations. Work. I had
yeah.
to coach a team. I didn't get to watch that, and it sucks. Granted, those cheer competitions sometimes are a little long and hectic, but
Oh, I
I would still
learned.
like to be there supporting them because they're
Yeah,
they're my kids.
right.
And I mean, I think my kids understand though because they know how my work schedule is, just because that's how it's always been for them growing up.
Yeah,
So I don't think it takes to them. But if what I'm doing better, I don't think I'm doing anything better. I'm just trying to be how he was. I was
yeah.
trying to do everything that he is. Maybe I'd say coaching. My dad wasn't big on coaching.
Okay.
Um, he'd rather sit in the stands and be that loud dad that almost gets kicked out of games. Um, that's it. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't. I coaching is. I mean, I wouldn't even really say I'm better at it because I'm still learning and I'm still young. My dad, I'm sure he could if he was here and he would to coach. He didn't know football. He wasn't big on football. He was baseball, but
mm,
I would say if he was to do it, he'd find a way and just probably do it better than me anyway.
nice.
Even if he never did it, he'd probably still come out and do it better, just because he knew everything. Everything came to him off the top of his head, like it'd click, and he'd be, like, "Yep, I got that."
Okay.
He'd always, you know what? We'd always talk about who's stronger.
Yeah.
And everyone, my mom especially, she's like, he's a little skinny twig, but he'll take you in a fight. I'm
Oh
like,
man,
come on now,
pound
well,
for pound, Dad
he
pops had it, huh?
but I mean, he was little, but that dude was strong.
Yeah, pound for pound, pops had it,
We
huh? I
we've
hear
we've
you.
we've wrestled a few times, and it took me and my brothers to pick him up and throw him in a pool because he was just so strong and just fought with us. And it's like, man, where's this strength coming from, dude?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something real quick. Ooh, you give spankings?
Did I?
Did you? Okay, so
I
let's go back. Did you get spanked? Like old school, dad was old school. Like you caught a whooping if you was acting out.
I did not.
Okay.
I don't think I ever got that I can remember. I mean, once Dad yelled or something, then it's like, all right, I'm going up in my room. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna keep trying. At least on my end.
Yeah.
No, no. Now my brother, my oldest brother, he would like to keep going. Shout out to Nate if he's watching. He never he always wanted to keep the argument going. He
yeah.
he, he was the last word guy.
Yeah.
But me, yeah, I don't know. I mean, me and my dad have argued before, but I don't think I've ever gotten spanked.
Yeah. You're blessed. It was belts
Probably
to
because I
ass
knew.
season. It was belts to ass season in my house. I'll tell you that right now. We all caught a spanking or two, or
Yeah.
10, or 20. Who knows what the number is, but I really try. Like that's probably one thing that I do different. I ain't gonna say better, because I think every level of discipline requires, every disciplinary situation is different. But
Yeah.
I would say that I really have done differently is my approach to that.
Yeah.
I am a talker now.
Mm.
I mock it because Kelsey knows that I talk a big game, and then I'd be like, "Ah, whoop that," you
That
know
you
what I'm
weren't
saying?
about
Whoop
that
that, yeah,
business.
whoop that, you know what I'm saying? "Oh, I got a spanking, they can get a spanking, I'll whoop your ass," you know what I'm saying?
Riley hit you with the puppy eyes, like,
Hey, you know what I'm
and you're
saying?
like,
Like, I'll stop this car and smack you know what
okay,
I'm saying? Like, that's
okay,
how I grew up like that, you know what I'm saying? I grew up very old school like that, like and mom and dad,
yeah.
hey, it was equal opportunity beatings up in our house, don't get it twisted. It was equal opportunity beatings up in our house. Don't get it twisted. You just knew it that if it waited for dad to come home, it had a little load time to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he was
Mom,
ready.
can you take care of it? Don't
Yeah,
tell dad,
nah. Yeah.
please.
Hey, let's just run. Hey, I'll just run this over there and I'll pull my pants down right now. You know what I'm saying? Nah, yeah, you just knew if dad was coming. It was a different energy with it. But
Yeah.
I have had to give Riley one good one. She
Mm,
deserved it. She was really she was really out of line, and so she
yeah.
got one good one, but she remembers. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's a good thing or a bad
Yeah.
thing, but she
Sometimes,
remembers, and so now before
sometimes they
them,
need that.
yeah,
Sometimes they need the good old spanking.
yeah,
Not some of these people punching their kids in the face.
yeah,
No, we're not.
no, no,
We
no,
don't
no,
do
no,
that.
no,
No,
no, yeah,
good. A
she,
good a little smack on the ass,
yeah,
and it'll change because if you don't do it often, if you yell at them and they'll just be like, yeah, whatever. You keep yelling at me, I don't
right,
care. But then you take that little into control, and they gonna change their whole attitude.
yeah, yeah. So
It works.
I would say that for me, the way that we go about what we call conscious discipline is uh is a definitely a different route than what I grew up on. There's a lot of
Yeah.
let's talk about it. But what I will say is I appreciate it because now like even if she knows she did something wrong or made a bad decision, I'm not even gonna always say that's wrong, but like she made an unsafe decision or a bad decision or whatever the case is, like she's much more open to talking to us about it, right? Like me, oh boy, I was forging signatures. You know how many bad papers came to my house that they never saw? They don't even know how many
Oh.
bad papers came to our house that they never saw. I was forging signatures at a young age, boy, you know what I'm saying? Because I knew what it was.
Did your parents see this? Yep, here's their
Yeah,
signature. Whoop.
yeah, fact. You know what I'm saying? And there was no follow up, but you could get away with stuff like that. You can't do
Back
that
then,
now, right?
oh, they
Now,
call. They
oh,
call right away.
they call and you getting, an app. Every school got an app nowadays, whether it's Class Dojo or Power School or whatever your school decides to
Yeah.
use. It ain't no papers getting sent home. And if it does get sent home, you knew about it before it got sent home. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Like, oh,
Like
hey,
you
where's that
knew.
paper? What paper?
Yeah,
Oh, hey, right here. Your
yeah,
teacher showed. Oh,
facts,
oh,
exactly.
uh-huh.
So like you
And
can't
you better
even get
pull it
away
out.
with it. You can't
Yep.
even get away with it like you could before. So I think that's one of the things too, is like we have a very open communication in our household, and I really like I pride that on our family's culture, being able to talk about the hard things, being able to praise the good things, constructively criticize the bad things,
Mhm.
and everything else in between. Um, yeah, I mean, look, belt to ass season was great back in the day, but I don't think it's necessary all the time today. I think that there is a time and a place. I agree.
Yeah.
But I also think that that escalation has to be like it's got to be a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because a
Mhm.
lot of times us as adults, we also need to know just take a step back and give ourselves a few seconds, right? So like
Right.
one of the tips that I learned as being an educator is that give yourself 3 seconds before you react because that's how long it takes your brain to actually process a logical decision. Right? Like even as an adult, if you take 3 seconds before you speak, before you act, that's why the phrase think before you speak is so profound because your brain needs 3 seconds to make a actual logical decision on the situation at hand versus acting out of just pure adrenaline and emotion, which is what happens within those first 3 seconds. Now, again, we're talking about with a kid, not with what you do. I see how your face just
Hmm.
went. Your
Yeah.
job and your
Yeah.
line
I
of
don't, I don't.
duty
I
is
don't.
different.
Sometimes you don't have 3 seconds.
Yeah, I understand. But with a child, and if ain't nothing
Yeah.
really going on and you're just in an argument, like we
Yeah. For
always
you
have 3 seconds,
dads.
right? You know what I'm saying? We always have 3
Yeah.
seconds. So, um, yeah, that's like the thing that I do like really work on, and like in the yelling, like I try to keep the yelling to a minimum. We try to talk, you know what I'm saying? And like just try
Yeah.
to be not condescending and all that jazz. So like cuz like I'm looking to build up a queen, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to build her up. I want her I always think about it like this, like what I treat my daughter like is what she's going to accept when she becomes an adult, right?
Yeah.
Because we're not in a non-weird way, your daughter is dating you, right? So like whatever you treat her like, act her like, whatever she physically and visibly sees you act around any woman, not even maybe just her mother, your aunt, your grandma, your mom, your cousin, whoever, she's going to remember those behaviors, and any of those behaviors are going to be the ones that are okay. So I
Yeah.
try to make sure I always keep that energy right whenever she can see it, she can feel it, she can hear it, because
Mhm.
that's gonna be the kids don't forget not a damn thing, okay? They don't forget not a damn thing. So just remember that.
Yeah. That brings something up
Yeah.
4 years later. You're like, what?
Forgot that
Yeah.
you put your
Yeah. Do you
shoes over
remember?
there. Yeah.
Oh. Oh. All right. Go to bed. Get
Yeah.
out of
Yeah.
here.
Facts. Facts. So, yeah, I mean, that's probably the other thing too that like I do different.
Yeah.
Trying to think, man. Trying to think. I mean, Pops was on point though. Like you said, they were um what's one of the new ways that you approach things like for your kiddos as far as like tough conversations? Obviously, we're not even really getting into the hard ones, but like tough conversations that you guys have had to head up to this point, or like where
Oh
have you
man.
maybe like what would you say is your biggest struggle as a dad at this point? Let's go there actually. Like,
For me in general,
yeah,
I would say for me in general, I tend to yell at them often, and I gotta kind of drop that back a little bit. Um, that's not my fault. That's my fault, my part. But sometimes they deserve that little yelling.
well,
I don't. I think I've spanked them maybe once or twice before, but I'm a high energy person,
well.
as you could say. I mean, you know this
Yeah,
from the
you ain't
gym.
get.
You know this from
I was gonna
outside.
say y'all ain't never worked
Uh,
out with Mr. Sellers over here, boy. He's got my elbow toe up, boy. You know what I'm saying?
that's just how I am, and I realize that I gotta drop it back and kind of just sit down and have that conversation because you know, so sometimes I don't take that 3 seconds to just sit back and think. Okay, let me think about what I'm gonna say. I just react,
Yeah,
and that falls back on with work.
yeah,
You know that you know I don't have that time to think, so I gotta break that habit.
yeah. I
Like,
get
all
it
right,
though.
these are my kids now. These are kids. I got to take that breath, sit back a minute, think about it, and be like, all right. Let's go talk about it. Because that's how you get through these kids nowadays. You talk to them. You got to talk to them. Because if you're just like, yeah, whatever, walk away or spank them, sometimes they don't even know what they did wrong.
Yeah,
Because you're not explaining to them what they did. You're just spanking them for no reason,
right.
hitting them, yelling at them for nothing. And they're like, well, what did I do wrong? And you don't want your kids scared of you. That's a thing that I see a lot. Is a lot of these kids are like scared of their parents, and
Yeah,
I want to avoid that. I don't want my kids scared of me. I want my kids to come to me when they need stuff,
right, right.
when they want to talk. Like, hey, I'm gonna go
So,
talk to dad. That's how I
s-
was. I went and talked to my dad a lot, often.
yeah,
Like, hey, dad, I got something on my mind. Let's go talk, and we'll
okay.
talk about it. I don't
So,
express my feelings.
yeah, let's talk about it.
I'm bad at that.
We about to put you on the
Courtney,
spot.
I'm waiting to see Courtney in here. Like, yeah, he's full of shit. He's
No,
lying. I know.
no, 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 no. No, we finna put you on the spot. So, like,
I
genuinely,
do not express it.
if you know that that's a struggle, right? So let's play. Let's. It's not a game. We're gonna be genuine. Let's play some accountability here. Like,
Yeah.
what's so I already inadvertently gave a 3 second tip. I didn't. I'm glad that you picked up on that. That's great. But,
Yeah.
um,
Absolutely.
like I understand where you're coming from though too, like when you get like when it's high energy like that, right? Because like I
Hmm.
get in the thick of it in like the classroom, for instance. You know what I'm saying? And like
Yeah.
sometimes that is your first thing. You're yelling just to make sure that like it's almost like it's a reaction to like
Show that dominance. You
right,
want to be
to
like,
get that
I'm in
control.
charge. It's me.
Exactly, right.
Yes.
And so I totally understand, and I feel like there's a lot of dads out there that are gonna understand that. They're like, we're supposed to be that presence, right? Like this is
Yeah.
our like I pay these bills,
I
I do
run this.
this thing, right?
I'm in charge. Yeah.
Exactly. Like
No,
I'm
Courtney
dad. You know
knows
what I'm saying?
Courtney's in
Like
charge.
right,
I ain't gonna
yeah.
lie. Courtney's in charge. She runs it.
You ain't got to tell me. I know, but you can tell the audience if you want to.
I'll let everybody know. Courtney's in charge. Hey, I'm not afraid to say it. You got these
Shoot.
people that are out here like, no, I run this. Okay,
Yeah,
well, when you tell your wife that,
yeah.
yeah.
At the end of the day, it's
Uh,
happy wife, happy life. There's some facts to that. But I also think that I don't know. I feel like it's 50-50. I will say, take it with a grain of salt, that Riley plays the game with Kelsey more than she plays the game with me, if that makes sense, right? Like she'll walk that line with Kelsey. She don't
she'll tread it.
typically walk, yeah, she don't walk that line with me in the same fashion that she walked that line with Kelsey. Like there's just different levels of escalation
Yeah.
between them two and like between us two that I wish I could see more. Like I would love to be like a fly on the wall to be like what is Riley
Just
really
to see.
thinking? Right, cuz like
Yeah.
I hear about it but I'll never really get to see it. So
Hmm.
like my biggest struggle right now is probably like I am like my family was where like they'd be like, Dad, I want to spend time with you. Okay, bet. And like I'll go out there, but it's not intentional. I'm just out there on my phone, playing the game, doing something like we're not actually intentional about it. And
Yeah,
like
we're
so
just
like and
there in
I've
the
heard
same
that
room.
yeah, right. We in the same room. We together. Like we spending time together. What do you mean? But that's not you know what I'm saying? Like that's and so then some nights I go to bed and I'm like, damn, like I ain't even spend no time with her like that. Like that was really
Yeah.
that ain't what we want. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
again, like I think back and it's like, because then she gonna think that that's okay, because that's somebody spending time with her, later or whatever the case is. Not she deserves
Hmm.
more than that. But then I'll also it's so funny because in the same breath, then I'll complain about we don't spend no time together, and then she'd be like we go to bed together, and I'd be like they ain't spend no time. But it's like how I'm gonna say that, but then it's okay for me to
And
do
you're
the
doing the
same thing.
opposite.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that's like the biggest thing
Yeah.
for me. So like I have to be more intentional about that. I have to be better about putting my phone down, putting my distractions down, and like playing with my daughter. Like, hey babe, like what do you
Go
I
reverse
will
just a little bit.
I
You
will
said
s- I will I
you said
will
putting
I
your
will
phone down,
mud
right?
stomp you.
Let's elaborate. Let's elaborate on the putting the phone down when you're
I
spending
will
time with your wife,
mud
right?
stomp
All
you,
right,
boy.
let's talk. Let's talk about it. Gym time, right? Gym time is for what? It is
Hey,
for working
my
out,
elbow is
right?
hurt. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I be
No,
working.
we talk about before that. We talk about while we sitting there waiting for you to do your set because you're sitting there like this.
Oh
I'm
my
like, Devin,
goodness.
I'm gonna put this phone in the locker and I'm gonna change the combination so you can't get in it.
Listen,
We could be done. We could be done with our workout in an hour. But
stop. That's a lie and
no,
a half.
Devin.
That's a lie and a half. You and
I
Greg
wouldn't
was
say
in
a
there
lie
for
and a half.
3 hours the
Maybe a
other day.
lie. Maybe a lie, but not a lie and a half. I'm
Okay,
not giving you that half.
fine, 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 fine. But no, yeah. So like, I genuinely had to be better about that.
But I mean,
Um,
that's everybody nowadays, man. It's
yeah,
not just you.
it's hard.
It's because of what's going on in the world. Everyone's on their phones looking at Facebook,
Yeah,
YouTube, TikTok, all that stuff.
yeah,
It's got us going, and I'm
yeah.
guilty of it too. Oh, oh. This is why we
This is
take
why
two
they take
hours.
2 hours. Courtney, go to bed. Look,
No, we take 2 hours because we work. Well,
yeah.
I work that full 2 hours. I can't speak for everybody else.
Anyways, what I was gonna say earlier is like, let's hold each other accountable. We spend enough time together. We're blessed to be able to be neighbors. That we got to do a better
Yeah,
job and hold each other accountable and because
and
as
that's
much
probably
as it
what
takes a
Courtney's going to tell you
village
about.
as much as it
She's going
takes
to
a
tell you to
village
talk to me.
to raise a child, it takes a village to hold adults accountable. and that's something that I
Yeah.
think we can all be a little bit better about. But we'd be so afraid to let people know, we'd be so afraid to let people know what's going on.
Mhm.
And like I mentioned it before, like everybody loves to see the highlight reel, but nobody likes to talk about the hard stuff. And these the hard things right here. Like it's
Yeah.
not easy to tell somebody that I don't know, hey, what's going on? Oh man, I'm struggling to spend time with my daughter because I don't know how to put my cigarette down. Is essentially what I just
Mm.
said. It's just a digital cigarette. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
so um just little stuff like that. Like you said, I
Yeah.
struggle to communicate with my kids in a way that is a little bit more constructive than just yelling because I don't know how to
Yeah.
control the room sometimes. Like that's really what
Yeah.
we just said, but like,
Yeah.
and so we could be better for each other, right? Like I know you don't really see me yell at Riley, and I know that when you spend time with your kids, you usually don't have your phone in your hand. You are usually goofing off and whatever, playing around with them on the couch and this, that, and the third, and your phone is somewhere else. So like we could make each other better dads just off of that. So
Yeah. And I'm
yeah,
sure Courtney will reach out to you to try to convince you to start expressing myself more, but
yeah,
let's see how it
that's another
works.
topic for another day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
because she asking
That's a
the
whole
wrong
day.
man.
That's not just one
Hey,
episode. That's a
hey,
whole
she
day.
asking the wrong man. I asked Kelsey. I do not express my emotions very well, boy. Let me tell
Yeah.
you, I am not
Yeah.
that guy. Um, So yeah, man. Uh, look, we're in the thick of it. Like you said, you got an 11-year old, you got a 9-year old, you got a 5-year old. Like, if you had to really reflect on how fatherhood continues to shape you, not even like that it's already shaped you, but like how would you even express that? Like we'll work on your emotions right now. How would you express how fatherhood is actively shaping you day to day right now?
I tell you, if I didn't have my kids, there's no telling where I would be right now. I couldn't even tell you if I'd even be around because I wasn't that good as a kid growing up. I mean, I guess I was good, but
You was
I
good
was
enough to
doing
become a
dumb
cop.
stuff.
Yeah.
I was doing dumb stuff, and the kids they change every aspect, man. They make you look at life differently. It's like, all right, well, I'm not living for myself anymore. It ain't
Yeah.
about me no more. It's about my kids.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, you put them at the top of the pedestal. They're all the way up here.
Yeah.
Everyone else, they're down here now. You don't look at everybody like you used to.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, my kids are over everybody.
Yeah.
So you gotta do what you can and do everything for your kids.
Yeah.
Yes, you got to live for yourself too and your family, but those kids come first. Being a dad is different. People tend to walk away from their kids, and I never really understood that. I
Yeah.
I, I don't get the picture on how they do that. Like
Yeah.
why would you do something that is such a great experience? It's amazing. You can't really explain how great it is to be a father.
Yeah.
And then like your kids, like my kids keep running around the corner. I see them every 5 minutes looking at me. They want to come over here and join in on here because they love to see that I'm doing this.
Yeah.
They want to be a part of it as well, and that puts that icing on the cake for you.
Yeah.
That gets your feelings all wild up. You're all excited and happy about it. So I think being a dad is probably the best thing that's ever happened to me
Yeah. I mean, I
because
was.
now, like, looking at it like, oh dang, my dad was like this. My dad did all this, and he did it for us. So now it's my turn. Now I got to try to be that. I got to try to be that man that he was, which I never will. I'll never be as great as a dad that he was, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna
Yeah.
work hard, and I'm gonna try to be just like him. It won't happen,
Yeah.
but in my own way, it will.
Yeah. Yeah, don't do that. Don't let comparison take away from how phenomenal of a father you really are. Let me put that out there.
Yeah,
Like, again, I'm blessed to call you a friend. I'm blessed to call you a brother. Like, you are a very, very good father.
I appreciate that.
That's why this became a thing, you know. Ain't
Yeah,
nobody's ain't nobody's wives gonna put us out on blast if we was bad dads. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, yeah,
we ain't tooting our
absolutely.
own horn or trying to be nothing like
Yeah,
that. But like, it is good to celebrate those victories. Being a father is
yeah,
hard. Being a
absolutely.
mother is hard. Raising a family is hard. There's nothing. The easy is the living through it. The easy is
Mhm.
everybody safely going to bed at night, right? Everybody
Yep.
safely waking up the next morning. That's the easy. Everything else in between is in fact hard, and I will never take that away from any family, no matter what your background is, right? Like I don't care if you're a thousandaire or a millionaire. It doesn't matter. It's still
Mm-mm.
everybody has their own trials and tribulations, and things are shaped differently. So for me, it really helped me understand some of those really hard sacrifices we made back in the day, right? Like when I got those no's, you understood them a little bit more once you became a dad. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
was like, it wasn't a no, I don't want you to do it. It was either like a no, not right now, or no, I don't want you to hurt yourself. No, I don't want you to get your hopes up. No, I don't want to put you in a position that isn't good for you. Or, sometimes, like you said, just that extra explanation goes a long route. And
Mhm.
sometimes it's just no because you got to learn patience,
Yeah.
and there's a lesson usually within every no out there. And so sometimes you learn those lessons when you're young, sometimes you learn them when you're older. I'm starting to learn them when I'm older because being a father, like you've said so eloquently, is like it is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. I've had a lot of opportunities in this life, and God has blessed me a lot in this life. And one of the biggest and most precious blessings was when He gave me Riley. And it's like you said, that little girl is she ain't perfect, but she's one of the closest
To
things
you,
out
she
there.
is.
You're right. She's one of the closest things out there.
Yeah.
And you have to take that real seriously because I look at things, everything can be transactional. And, with that, it's like the amount of love that I give to her, the legacy that she'll leave, that I'll leave for her to remember me by, when I am gone. I ain't trying to go no time soon, but I'm just saying, like, um, you know, she is, it's just little things, like I'll tell a quick story. When my
Mhm.
dad passed away, we had literally FaceTime my dad on a Sunday, and I got a
Mhm.
phone call Tuesday morning from uh my bonus mom, and she was just in tears, like, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." "What are you sorry about?" He was just gone. And I was like, "What? What are we talking about? Who's gone? What are you talking about?" And she's like, "Devin, we walked in the house from a walk and he just fell flat on the floor." "What?" And I'll never forget the first moment that I knew that my daughter was amazing, but also that we had been filling her with love and care because she had no idea what was going on. She just saw
Mhm.
her daddy had tears in her eyes, his eyes, and out of nowhere, I'm talking, I don't even know where she was in the house at the time that I took this call because I kind of got up and started pacing. But like she
Yeah.
found me on the couch and like from behind just wrapped me up so big and just like it wasn't the difference between like a hug and like one of the
Yeah.
monkey hugs.
Regular
Like,
hug.
nah, this was a
Mhm.
hug, like, I love you, daddy, like it's gonna be okay. And one of the first phrases she ever said when she was younger was, um "Are you okay?" And so she said, "Are you okay, daddy? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm gonna
Mhm.
be okay, baby girl. Like it is gonna be okay." But like she understood that like in that moment I needed that love.
Yeah.
And like, but she was like one, literally had not even one and a half. Like my dad passed away in March, her birthday's in November. You know what I'm saying? And like she had
Mhm.
literally just turned one, and like she was able to do all of that. It really blew my mind.
Yeah.
And so like she's just remarkable. And so like you said, I move every day. I make every decision based on how it's going to actively affect her future in the positive, most amazing manner ever, and so I try to do everything I can. I know that like I said, I've got a lot of blessings. I'm an educator. She's in school, so we get these summer times together. I'm not gonna take that lightly.
Mhm.
I am able to be at a lot of her events because of, some of the other things I got going on. And yeah, man. So like she's great. So great that I got myself fixed and didn't want to have another one. So That's where I'm at, So, 'cause people ask all the time, "Oh, you speak so high, why you don't have another one?" Nope, I've heard that story already, and I know what my family was like, and right, so it's gonna be based off my family because Kelsey don't have no siblings, so it was like, I love my sister, but nah. Like, I
I
love my
got the
little
one.
brother and little sister, but nah, I'm good, you know? And so, yeah, I mean, every day it makes me a different human being. Every day I just you just look at things differently. You know what I'm saying? Not
Yeah,
that you get more judgy, but you just look at things differently. You see the world under a completely different lens. Things that you necessarily wouldn't have been fearful of, you're a little bit more cautious about. I ain't gonna say that like it drives fear, but you're just a little bit more cautious about things, and you're not
yeah,
so quick to take that same risk that you may have taken, a year before, 2 years before, whatever the case is. So, um, yeah. So just I think it definitely made me a better person. It has made me more in tune with some emotions. But still, I'm not that guy, Courtney. But I'll try. But I'm not that guy. I'm not really great about it either. Um, but this is also part of the podcast journey, right? Like we wanted to have this to help talk about some of the things that maybe me and Adam don't typically talk about because we just don't, you know. We be in the
yeah.
gym and we
That's
talk
that's
about
that's
other
the
stuff
men.
like going to the Arnold, you know what I'm saying? Which
Yeah,
if you want to help
that's
us
the
go to
men
the
in us.
Arnold, if you want to
Oh
help us go
God.
to the Arnold, feel free to donate. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just but I'm not. But if you know what I'm saying, like I could get a little tippy tip jar ready if you want me to. But we are gonna go to the Arnold in the spring. So
Yeah,
be excited. We'll probably have some cool maybe we'll do some cool content with that too. So
yeah.
um
Try to maybe get a couple interviews with some of the
yeah.
people if we can.
But yeah, that again, the podcast isn't just for you. It's just as much. What I'm trying to say is this podcast is just as much for us uh, as it is for you guys because
Mhm.
we sit down and we have conversations that we don't never have realistically, not just organically, because we're men and we're dads,
Yeah,
and we don't really like to show our I don't want to say weakness, but like we don't like to show our guard down. You know what I'm
soft
saying?
side.
Yeah, soft side. There you go. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
um,
All the dads out there.
yeah. So whether you a new dad,
Hopefully this
old
helps you
dad,
out. Yeah.
granddad, bonus mom, we say dads, but like realistically, like we just really talking love. We really just talking love. We talking from a different perspective. I think that there are just as much of a perspective for men as there is for women out there, and just like we talked about, like being a dad is just one side of the story, and we would
Yeah.
love to hear your perspective as a mom, because I know
Well,
that
maybe
you guys
maybe
are
maybe
wired.
that could be an extension on there. We get Kelsey and Courtney on here, and
Yeah,
they could do a little one about. So you're a mom now. We could
yeah.
do something like that.
You let us
I mean,
know,
ain't nothing
ladies.
wrong with
The
that.
the the energy is ready. The building is ready. I can feel it's electric in here.
Uh,
But
uh,
look, we've been chatting you all's ear off for a while. We share some stories. We'd love to hear some stories back from you guys. So again, wherever you're listening, we're available. Our next podcast will be on the
22nd.
22nd live. So 6/22, 2025. We will be live on
Hmm.
Twitch and YouTube. And I don't know what
That's
that
another
third
question we
episode
need.
is going to be. Yeah, I was just going to say, I don't know what
That
that third
that's
episode is going to
that's
be
I
just
think
yet.
I think I think this I think this is when we open up the floor to people that are watching. You
Yeah,
want to throw ideas out there or questions, now's the time.
yeah,
Ask away. We'll try to answer them. Or if you got a good idea for a topic we should talk about next
yeah.
episode, just throw it out there, and we'll see what we can do and see if we can make it work.
All
So
right.
the
So
floor
before,
is everybody's.
yeah, right.
Beside, oh well, Devin's got something. Hold
Yeah,
on.
hold on. Yeah, so before we give the live audience the love they deserve, 'cause they've been listening to us ramble, we wanted to say goodbye to our podcast audience. Again, share this with someone you love. We appreciate it. We want to touch and start these conversations, make the dinner table special again. And if you have any reason that you want to reach out to me or Adam, you can find us. We are locally linked at creating. Coaching Dads Unfiltered, and we are locally linked at creating a community to where these conversations can happen in a safe environment, right? Like that's the goal. We want to be able to foster
Yeah,
these communications and these conversations in a safe environment. We're going to do something, whether we do a Facebook group or Discord, or maybe we do both, to where you guys and gals can go ahead and join in, and we can have these fantastic continuations of these conversations with each other. So, until next time,
absolutely.
this is Coaching Dads Unfiltered signing off. And as always, we appreciate you. And man, what was that tagline last night? What are we were? We're talking fatherhood, coaching life. I don't know if that's gonna stick. That didn't sound
We
real
got a
good.
couple of them.
I didn't deliver that one real well, but that's how we gonna end this episode this week. So we
We
look
can't we
forward
can't
to
do the
it.
just truth one because
Yeah, because Jess
somebody has an
just
attitude about it.
just just makes it small, so we can't do that one. She doesn't
Hmm.
like that word. But yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna get out of here. We'll see you again next week with episode 3. And yeah, talk to you later. Peace. Don't go anywhere, Adam. That's just
peace
for the
out.
audio recording.
I'm not going nowhere.
All right, bet we're done recording. Look at that. Outstanding. Look at us.
You
Good
should
job.
let
Golf
Luke
clap.
be on a full podcast one time.
You should what? You should let
Says
Luke. Luke wrote that. All right.
says you should let Luke be on a full podcast one time.
Adam in a tutu. I would pay money to see that. Actually.
I've done it plenty of times at cheer competitions.
Oh, nice.
Now that you are a football commissioner, and when you are at cheer competitions, you will specifically have a tutu on.
I don't think so. Anyways, all right.
100%.
I don't think so. We'll see what happens. Uh, yeah, tabs. Oh, tabs. I forgot that's what we call them. Tactical ass blowouts. Those are hilarious.
Mm.
Yes. Yes. The tabs went crazy. I'm trying to see. All right, I'm back at the top. Here we go. I have your mom and I are missing Love Island. Well, we appreciate you for tuning in instead of Love Island. We thank you for your
You
time
guys can
this
watch it
evening.
whenever you want. You're in Florida enjoying sun. I don't want to hear it.
Oh yeah, Kelsey's first Mother's Day gift was a bright yellow poop all the way up her back. That's right, all the way up Riley's back. That is accurate. A diaper genie sponsorship would go crazy. Adam gets his comedy from his dad, but also Adam gets his comedy from his aunt. I believe both. Your dad told you not to spend money. Well, we both know how that went.
I do it anyway.
Why did you yell YouTube, Courtney? You have to let me know why you yelled that. The belt of justice is
YouTube!
unyielding. You're 100% correct, Evan. Dev likes to stream while on his phone. Judd, I'm going to come after you. I do be taking
It sounds about right, Judd. I agree with you.
I do be
That
taking
dude-
whole
that
phone conversations, though. Oh, God. This is why I don't go to the gym with you guys. What's up, Black Ghost? How you doing? You should
What's
let
happening,
Luke be
Mike?
on the full. I don't know. It just says Black Ghost. I don't really know.
Yeah, it's my boy. It's my boy, Mike.
Okay. What up, Mike? How you doing, boss? Welcome in. All right. So that was on the YouTube side of things. On the Twitch side of things, my bonus mom, hey, how you doing? If you're still listening, she tuned in. She said that she vividly remembers when my dad realized that he was going to become a papa. That is true. So funny story. Me and Kelsey thought we were going to be cute and clever. We invited mom and dad over, and we had a true bun, just a bun, a single bun on a cooking
In the oven.
pan in the oven, and the oven wasn't on, but we had set a timer. So that way, after they had been here for a little while, timer went off, and then we were going to pretend like we were just busy. She was in the bathroom, I was downstairs faking laundry, and it was like, hey, can you get that for us? And, whatever, they get up and they get it or whatever, and they're like, it's just a single bun, is how she goes. She's like, it's just a single bun, Kels. Is everything okay? And my dad's like, a single bun? Wait a minute. And he's like, he like elates, right? He's like elated. And Lisa's like, what? We ain't finna all eat this single bun. Like, why are you so excited? because so Lisa is from Australia, and so I don't know if maybe that same little thing is the way that it is for us out there, over there, overseas. And so, yeah, like
Uh,
obviously the bun in the oven, he caught on right away, and it took her a couple of tries, and then finally, when she figured it out, she was also obviously extremely, extremely excited. So, but that was just like a cute little story for us for sure. Uh, Me out here tail hunting, never. What do you think you could do better? Better as a father right now, not better than your dad. Okay, so we kind of already talked about that. You should see him on stream. Dang, Judge, you blew me out twice. You blew my back out twice on stream, brother. Golly.
YouTube and on Twitch.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He had to tell the whole world, like, hey, this boy don't be saying nothing.
Mhm.
Hater. That's what he is. So hanging in there, looking to more episodes of you guys. Dope for sure. We appreciate that, brother. We appreciate that. First and foremost, good job, sir. I appreciate you. Appreciate you for making the time for me because I know you're sleepy. I can see it in your eyes.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Oh,
I'm like,
okay.
I ain't got to work tonight. I'm off.
Yeah, that is true. You going
I had
Wednesday
to,
night?
I I had my bum energy drink, so I'm good. I'm
Oh,
ready.
there you go.
I'm awake.
There you go. Mr. C Bum, if you want to check us out, we'll gladly go sit at a booth for you if you need us to. You just let us know. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Coach and Dad's Unfiltered, C Bum Energy. You know what I'm saying? A little crazy. I got to try one first before I say all that. Well, I'll just give them all to you. I don't care. Um,
Yeah, Doctor Bum is pretty good, and also the root beer one is probably the best.
yeah.
Tastes just like a root beer. It's great.
I agree.
You should
You
let
should let
Luke be
Luke
on
be
a
on the
podcast
podcast
with
with
you.
you. We talked about it. We
Luke,
think we're
come here.
gonna do a we think we're gonna do a sports one, and Luke can be a part of that one.
Yeah, here's Luke. Um, you put that in. You can be a part of our little conversation right here.
Just hold it, Luke.
You got
Just
to
hold
talking to
it. Your
Mike though.
ear is crazy. Yeah, just hold it. You're okay. Yeah, just hold it.
So Luke's here. Hello,
You got any
guys.
questions? Go ahead and interview your dad. Ask him some questions. Go ahead. Hit him with some hard
Yeah.
questions.
Okay.
You got to speak
Go ahead.
into the microphone though. So lean down.
Yeah, go ahead. Speak into the microphone. What question you got?
Just lean your body down. Don't touch the microphone.
Um,
You ain't got no
I
questions.
really don't have any questions.
Oh,
Not really.
okay. Luke got that
Wanted to be on
voice
a
for the microphone
podcast.
though.
Wanted to be on the podcast. Didn't even know what to
Yeah,
say.
crazy.
Mike, should we just eat him out of here? Yeet.
Yeet.
Luke, who's your favorite wrestler?
Jay Uso.
He probably came up. He's probably got 17 different ones every other day. So I wouldn't believe him about Jey Uso. Just like how he was. Remember that day he was cheering for OKC, and then
Facts.
the
And
Pacers
now they're
win.
going.
He's
And
like,
now
"Yeah,
they're
let's
yeah.
go." Yeah.
And now OKC looking like they're trying to win.
Oh, OKC's gonna win. Tyrese Halliburton is out.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So,
All right. Does
all right. Any
anybody
questions
have?
or suggestions?
Yeah, we're looking for questions and suggestions. If not,
How
I'm
many
gonna start.
wrestlers does Luke have? We don't know. Come down here and count them for us, Courtney.
5 at least.
How many?
500 at least.
Over 500 at least.
Sheesh, I believe that number with my whole
Yeah.
soul. I actually believe that number with my
Mhm.
whole soul.
Because I have some at my papa's house too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
I
whole
got
soul.
Mhm.
All right. So
All
when
right.
we talked last
So
time,
you're good to go.
Alright.
See
we
you next year,
talked
Luke.
about either dad bods, beer, and burnout. We did
Oh.
talk about that.
Well, we
We
don't
took-
drink beer, so I don't think we can do that.
Well, we could just rename
Or we
it. Though.
change.
Yeah, we could just rename
Yeah.
it.
Dad bods pre-workout.
Yeah, we could do parenting with purpose, not perfection, which kind of is a
Ranking the
continuation from
goats.
today's
Sports
conversation.
snacks.
We could also do We could talk about marriage. Just go right into that. Marriage ain't the same after kids. You gonna lose this one. Not lose, but you ain't gonna have much to say, I feel like, because
Who?
you just said you don't do nothing. That's what you just said. That Courtney run the whole household.
Yeah, you know.
Who run the world? Court. That's how the song go over there.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just here living in her world.
I feel you, bro. No, that's lame. We could talk. Well, see, I feel like we got to save the weekend warriors until I have a little more weekends under my belt. See, you got a lot of sideline life and youth sports under your belt. I'm just getting started. But I guess, we could wait till like the mid-season to do that one. I'll have enough. I'll have enough by then. I've already done a lot, so. But again, we could kind of look, see if there's anyone ranking the GOATs, sports, snacks, sitcom dads. He needs some milk. Oh man.
I don't know. I don't know what we can. Tough one.
Oh no.
Oh,
These kids got the best of me today.
2 more days.
I know, bro. Not even
Mike, you
one and
got
a
Mike. You
half.
got anything? Yeah, you got anything you'd like to possibly hear us do a podcast about? I see you're in there, Compton. And Shelly, how about you? You got anything you'd like to hear us talk about as coaching dads? Anything like that? Talk about everything. Well, that's kind of hard because everything takes forever. Now Luke has an idea.
Oh yeah? What it is.
He says we should talk about sports. That's just because he wants to be a part of it. So his opinion's out of the picture right now. The Cubs' terrific season. Yes, yes, they are. Devin over there sleeping on me.
I'm not. I was
Let me
looking
wake
at,
him up.
I'm not. I just said I'm not. I was looking at a few of the other things.
I'll wake him up.
Oh, this is a good one. We could talk about how sports shaped our fatherhood, like how sports helped us in fatherhood. If you wanted to do that, I like that one.
Yeah. We could definitely do something like that. Mind you, the Cubs did win today, I believe.
Yeah,
if
they
I'm not
did.
mistaken.
I'm pretty sure they did win. Shohei Ohtani returned and looked like an absolute goat.
How often do you talk about the downs of parenting and how do you deal with it?
Who said that?
Mike?
Your boy Mike. We could. Like I said, we should have some tough conversations. We could. That's actually a good one.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. All right, Mike, good job.
So that's what we're sticking with, that one? We going to go
we'll
with that
stick
for
with
next
that
one?
Yeah, because that's a good one.
Well, Mike, make sure you tune in for that one because
we'll
you
be
brought
here.
it up, so now you got to watch it.
The 22nd, baby. The 22nd.
Sunday.
Sunday. Same time.
Sunday.
8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to keep the time consistent because we know we can't keep the day consistent. So we figure if we, at minimum, let you know the day, you'll be like, oh, yeah, 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock.
8 o'clock. I'm
whatever
tuning in.
time it is.
Like my aunt and mom's Love Island every time at this certain time.
It's okay.
You could just watch us instead.
And I think, like I said, my experiment with Meld, I think, came to an end today because I really, Kels also hit me with some bad news, so I'm not trying to talk about it, but I'm gonna. It's gonna frustrate me if it ends up being 100%.
That's a whole nother episode. Courtney,
Yeah.
who am I without the title dad, husband, coach, etc.? I'm Adam.
I'm going viral. Fuck you, mean. Oh, dead. Who am I without the title? That's actually a good one, Courtney. You know it's great. You have access to our note. You should put it in there. I like that one as well.
Love Island rocks.
Love Island rocks? I've never seen it.
No. You don't need to. It's some drama show, I think.
A Money? Oh my. If that's a person's name on that show, I'm out already. Uh yeah, man. Anybody have any immediate feedback for us? Like we're here for the constructive criticism, and if you
Fine.
guys have anything that you'd like to, I mean, Kelsey has delivered hers, and she said that we had
I'm
issues with
not your
audio,
secretary.
and
Yeah, well, you
I
kind of
have.
are, Courtney.
Whoa, whoa,
You
whoa,
definitely
whoa!
are our secretary for
I'm sorry,
football.
Courtney. I'm not gonna. I'm not. Oh, A Money is Adam. Got it. Got it. You're not my secretary. You're right. But do you mind, please?
Boneless wings are
Can we talk
nuggets.
about
Yes,
boneless
100%.
wings or nuggets?
They
What?
are.
They're
They
not.
100% are. Yes, they are. They're flavored nuggets.
Prove it.
It's literally just chicken like this, like a chicken nugget with sauce in it. That's it. Wrong? No.
She said so.
Exactly. That's
I
why it's
feel.
nice and
I
quiet
feel
over
like.
there. It's nice and
I
quiet
feel
over
like.
there
I
because
feel
you
like
know.
I'm not gonna even bother to even entertain this idea.
Here, this is
Because
how I
how would they
felt
be
once
able
I
to sell?
explained that.
How
Well,
would
wait,
they
wait,
be
wait.
able
Listen.
to? How would
This
they
is
be
how
able?
this is how I felt when I
I don't
told
want to
you
hear
that.
no more air horns. Oh, crickets! I don't want it.
Cricket,
Listen,
because you know I
I'm
was right.
trying to. No, I was just like, I don't even understand how you can feel that way because. So you're telling me it's all just a marketing ploy?
Yes.
They just call it boneless wings, even though they literally have bags of boneless wings.
But what is it?
And nuggets.
But what is it?
But
what is
chicken nuggets
Chicken.
and boneless wings is different.
Chicken.
Nah, bro.
Chicken nuggets.
So then what? Then what's the difference? The meat?
So, what's the difference? Where does it come
Well,
from?
nah, you
Where does
can't
that?
just.
Where
Is
does
chicken thighs just as
where
good as chicken breast?
where does the boneless chicken wings come from?
I assume they just
Where does the meat come from?
deboned
Not the wing.
How do you figure?
Not the wing. How is it the wing?
They
We eat
just
the wings with the
deboned it.
bones in them.
Yeah,
That's it. No,
You just
no,
deboned it.
not even close.
It's still wing meat. I think nuggets is made up of what they call it, variety meat, assorted meat on the chicken.
That's what boneless chicken wings are.
I don't think so. I'm gonna look at a bag tomorrow. I'm gonna go tomorrow. I'm gonna look.
It's nuggets because the wings have bones. Boom. Mic drop.
Chicken thighs are better than chicken breasts, if you say so.
Chicken.
You paying
It
$45
depends on where
for
you. It
sauce
depends.
nuggets?
It depends on who cooks it and where you get
The
it from.
chicken breast is where they come from. Wait, what comes from? No. Don't do that. Nuggets do not. Why can't I see my YouTube chat over here anymore? I can only see Twitch. It just like stopped. That's very interesting.
That's because
Meld
we're all right
sucks.
and you're not.
No, it's just because Meld sucks.
I see it.
Well, yeah, but you don't see both. You only see the YouTube chat. In my thing over here, my software, I was able to see both, and now I just can't.
That's you know why? It's because chicken nuggets are the same as boneless wings.
All right, whatever you say. If you want to say that.
So we got our next episode, right?
Yeah, I gotta
possibly.
write it down for whatchamacallit.
Oh, Courtney's gonna add it in the notes.
No, Courtney's
Courtney?
gonna add hers. She ain't add his. I'm about to screenshot it right now, so it doesn't matter.
Add his in there.
Yeah, I'm about to
Boneless
screenshot
wings
it
are an
right
oxymoron.
now. Yeah,
Boneless wings equal real chicken breast chunks plus wing sauce.
That's crazy.
Chicken nuggets processed, shaped, bite-sized pieces.
That is crazy.
So technically, it's the same thing.
Okay. But
because I guarantee you, B-Dub's boneless is probably processed, and they just put their own sauce in it.
I'm sure B-Dub's wings are definitely ass because that's why they give you the poops.
Have y'all done a topic on how easy it is to get unmotivated and how hard it is to get back on point? No, actually, Mike, this is our first real episode, so we can always add that to the list and discuss it.
Mike coming
that's
in
actually
with,
a pretty good one.
Yeah, I was like, Mike coming in with the straight fire.
Yeah, he. I'm surprised he's not Snapchatting me right now saying something. Or I grew up with Mike.
Mike trying to be on the show. You could just say that, Mike. We'll invite you on, bro.
Now I want some nuggets. You could better go to Chick-fil-A and get them.
Oh, I should go to Chick-fil-A and get the little drink. The little drinky drink.
Oh, Emma's coming down to say hi. She's crying that Luke got to say hi.
Oh my goodness.
See what I tell you?
We
Emma.
love you, Emma.
We talked about it. Emma is
She is the one.
Emma is that one.
Yeah, she is the one.
Yeah,
Quote me too,
my aunt's a big Chick-fil-A person. She loves Chick-fil-A.
I love Chick-fil-A.
Mike is really unfiltered. Yes,
When's the
that is
deep
true.
dive trailer? The 17th. No, that's right now. When's the trailer? Oh,
Devin,
registration
get
is.
me one. Get you one what? What were you talking about? Courtney said get her one.
Oh yeah, Courtney wants one of the drinks. What time does Chick-fil-A close? I might go get one for real, for real.
No, Chick-fil-A is probably closed. Come here.
They do be doing different.
Hi, Devin.
Hi, Emma.
Something you want to say to everybody out there watching?
Oh, Aunt Shelly said Abby rubbed poop on the wall.
Yeah, you want to say something to Aunt Shelly?
Uh-huh.
Go ahead. She's on there. She's watching.
Aunt Shelly, why did you say that Abby rubbed poop on her wall?
That's because I said it.
No, she said
She
it.
just commented on that. You got makeup on? Lip gloss?
No, it's chapstick.
Oh. Aunt Shelly says hi, Emma.
Ooh, excuse me.
Wait, can you tell Mom that if Abby can come on the podcast?
Can I tell Mom that Abby can come on the podcast?
Yeah.
If Abby wants to come down and say hi, she can come down and say hi. Go ahead, go get her.
They're already closed, Court. So we'll have to do it tomorrow. You know what I'll do, Courtney? I will
Tomorrow's
actually.
sign-ups.
I was gonna say I'll make it a point to bring one to sign-ups tomorrow because I really have been craving one as well.
I won't
So
be there.
you won't. You
I
gonna
won't.
sleep?
Yeah.
Got you.
Yep. Oh, so you know what's crazy? Every night, Courtney has to turn on Criminal Minds or whatever she's got to turn on to fall asleep. I decided to turn it off. Right? She gets mad. She's like, "Oh, just go to bed." I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm gonna
Abby
turn a
said
movie
I
on."
need to do my hair.
Oh God. So I turn a movie on. This movie's going on. I'd say probably about, I don't know, 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And I hear Courtney chuckle at a part. I'm like, I thought you were going to sleep.
Yeah.
And then here comes 11:30, and she's like, "Oh, that was a good movie." Yeah. So that, yeah. Even though she wanted to go to sleep.
Yeah. She watched that whole movie, huh? It's
No, watch out.
crazy.
It's Abby. Abby's in it.
Sure.
Say something if you want.
No.
No? Okay. All right. Bye, kids. All right.
All right, big dog. I think
that's it.
yeah.
Courtney, they're probably going to be watered down by the time, though.
Who's gonna be
When you
watered
leave
down?
work. When she leaves work. She said she could grab them, but they'll probably be watered down.
Well, if she's is she working over there though? Is she like working right next to it?
She drives over that way to come home.
Oh.
But it won't be any good because sign-ups aren't until 6.
Can we talk about this gentle parenting? Because that makes me so mad. Mike, it works though, bro. So that's the crazy thing. It does work. Like we've had mad success with it with my daughter at least. We have had mad success with it with my daughter. So.
Well, if anybody doesn't have any more questions, I think we're gonna call it a night.
Yeah, Adam wants to go to sleep.
No, I mean I'm awake. I'm not going to bed anytime soon. I'll probably turn another movie on.
I mean, I need to go to sleep because I do still got school in the morning.
Oh yeah, you're about 40, so you need that sleep, you know.
You know what? Fuck you.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can't say that.
I can, actually.
I think the topic of gentle parenting with one kid versus gentle parenting with multiple is a game changer. Yeah, and Mike has, I don't know, 26 kids or something like that. So
Dang, Mike. He
he
put you
doesn't.
on blast like that. That's crazy.
So yeah, he's got a
Don't let
new
him
one
talk to
every
you
other
like that?
month. He'll send me a snap. I'm like, oh, you got another one? Oof.
You gonna let him talk to you like that to you, Mike? That's crazy, bro.
Mike knows where I'm at.
That's crazy. I know where he's at too, Mike. You let me know when you want to get him. You let me know when you want to come get him, big dog. That's
Ain't
nuts.
nothing gentle.
Here's where it's at, though. Ready? You got 3 of them things. Ain't nothing gentle over it. I don't pull out my driveway. I don't pull out my driveway. He got more than me before I did. Mike, you better stop. You get yourself in trouble, big dog. You done got yourself in trouble. What just happened? Why didn't this work? God, I hate
I don't know
this
what you
thing
were trying to do.
sometimes. Oh, it worked
What are
that
you trying
time.
to do?
I fixed it. Don't worry.
Oh.
I'm trying to get us paid. That's what I'm doing.
Oh. Disney Dev.
Not tonight. That's why it's unfiltered. Boom, boom. Who said that? Judd or Kelsey? Kelsey. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, big dog. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, look, we really appreciate you again. We'll be live on the 22nd at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. And I guess we'll be
Who do we
talking
gotta
about.
who do we gotta give the Eastern to?
There's a lot of people that run off Eastern Time.
If people don't know what Central Time is
I
or
know,
what
but
our time is,
yeah,
something's wrong.
it's the wrong time when you live in the future
100%.
like that, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I do it because everybody else does it, right? Like TV shows do it. We want to give it, and like if we ever get some overseas listeners, they all run off of the the Eastern clock or whatever. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Nah, for real, I got a good 60-40 mix of hood and polite. I'm dead. I mean, Mike, this is hilarious. Oh my
Eastern Time
goodness.
is the best time.
Yeah, well, he lives in the Eastern Time. Don't let him
Yeah.
fool you.
I mean, I figured.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Judd be on the
'Cause I
Judd
seen
live. He live in Indiana
he
though, so
said
like
something. He
if
said
you
something
want,
on your Facebook.
yeah, he lives in Indiana though, so like if you want to send one of your boys, I could let you know where you can find them. But nah, we're gonna get up out of here. We're gonna let you guys enjoy it, guys and gals. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Again, we're greatly appreciative of you guys hanging out with us tonight. It means a lot as we get this up and running. And yeah, Adam, what you got to say before we
Don't
go?
forget. Don't forget, hit that like button, share it, subscribe, spread the word. It's
That's
not
right.
just to dads; it's for everybody. I mean, yes, we did our show today about dads now, but I'm seeing our moms come on in the future about doing one that's so you're a mom now. I could see Kelsey and Courtney agreeing to it and wanting to do it. I think that they'd probably get more people to watch than us because
They're
that's
women.
how it works.
Yep.
I think that's
But it's
about it,
okay.
though.
We're slowly but surely building. You know, Rome
Yeah.
wasn't built overnight, and Chicago didn't recover. Over a week, so it's okay.
Chicago.
I was I was talking about. I was specifically this dude. He posted the trailer before it came out. I'm so sick of him. Anyways, yeah. So we will be there.
Can I take a guess at who you're talking about or no?
Who?
Is it who I think you're talking about?
Who do you think I'm talking about?
I mean, I'm not gonna say it out loud, but is it who I think you're talking about?
I don't think so. They apparently posted this
Okay.
3 hours ago, but then they just told me that it didn't come out until tomorrow. I don't understand. It doesn't matter. Anyways, I will. Yeah, it's okay. I frustrated. Yeah, it happens. I got too many things
He
going
needs to
on
go
at
to bed.
once. I really
Deb
do.
needs to go to sleep,
Yeah,
everybody.
I really
That
do.
age 40 is getting to him, and he needs some
Brother,
sleep.
say it one more time. I promise. Say it one more again.
That great. Take that hat off. Let's see that.
Yeah.
Let's see that hair.
Say it one more again. My hair looking fly right now. I need a haircut though. I really do need a haircut. I need a lining like a mug. I'm about to call my barber in the morning.
Just grow it out again like you did that last time, bro.
Nah, Kelsey didn't really like it. And it'll be hot in the summer.
See, that's how I know. That's how I know that Kelsey runs it over there too.
No, I mean you gotta always keep the
'Cause
look
you
right.
Kelsey don't like it.
Yeah, she don't like the hair. That's fine. Whatever. She don't run everything. It's a 50-50 over here.
Mm,
It's a 50-50 over
Anyway.
here.
Anyway.
All right, big dog. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. Everybody that's been watching, I appreciate you as always, and we'll see you guys on Sunday. Coaching Dads Unfiltered out. We got to come up with a tagline. This is lame. We need a tagline. What was the one? Was it Coaching Lives? What was it? I don't even remember. It was like
which one? The one that Kelsey don't like? The Just Truth?
Yeah. No, not that one. The one that we tried to put on the t-shirt.
Something something fatherhood. I don't know. We'll figure it out. By our next podcast, we will have a line.
Unless y'all got one for us. But we ain't came up with nothing organic yet. It'll happen. The more we talk, the better it'll get. So
yeah. It'll come during a gym session for sure.
Yeah, facts. But see you tomorrow.
I mean, yeah, that might even be a good one. But
that's what she wants. That's what she wants us to do. So. Bye, Emma.
All right. I said bye.
I have no idea.
Luke supposedly has another good idea.
You both put a body cam on like your like chest, and then you guys go to the gym and work out. It's like a vlog. No.
He said put a body camera on. What are we, the police?
Oh, he's the
Who paying for these body cams? Let's start with that first.
It's coming out of Luke's allowance.
Yeah,
he's gonna pay for body cameras.
Yeah, I love that. If it's coming out of Luke's wallet, I'm about that action. Yeah. All right, y'all. We up out of here.
These
I'll
kids
talk
need
to
to go
y'all
to bed.
later.
It's 10 o'clock.
Bye-bye.